So it will be a little bit noisy.
You travel. Welcome to the first festival of Duna. We are super excited. We are so happy you are here.
Gundera tinganda gumbega ticanda gundengandong. Bundeira te canto, cumbeira te canto, cundengandongão. Tingadagada cumbeira tundada gunderundem. Vou mostrando como sou e vou sendo como posso, jogando meu corpo no mundo, andando por todos os cantos e pela lei natural dos encontros. Eu deixo e recebo um tanto e passo aos olhos nus ou vestidos de lunetas. Passado, presente, participo sendo o mistério do planeta. Gaia, baiara, cumbanda, beira, te canto, cundengão. Tingalagoda, cumbeira, tundara, gundegundem. Vou mostrando como sou e vou sendo como posso, jogando meu corpo no mundo, andando por todos os cantos e pela lei natural dos encontros. Eu deixo e recebo um tanto e passo aos olhos nus ou vestidos de lunetas. Passado, presente, participo sendo o mistério do planeta. O tríplice mistério do stop que eu passo por e sendo ele no que fica em cada um. No que sigo o meu caminho e no ar que fez criar eu. Abra um parênteses, não esqueça que independente disso, eu não passo de um malandro, de um moleque do Brasil, que peço e dou esmolas Mas ando e penso sempre com mais de um. Por isso ninguém vê minha sacola. Cada beira de cada bandeira. Vai a beira de cada bandeira. Tinga da gada beira pumba da bandeira tem. Vou mostrando como sou e vou sendo como posso, jogando meu corpo no mundo, andando por todos os cantos e pela lei natural dos encontros. Eu deixo e recebo dando e passo aos olhos luz, ou vestidos de luneta, passado, presente, participo sendo o mistério do planeta. O tríplice mistério do stop, que eu passo por sendo ele no que fica em cada um. No que sigo meu caminho e no ar que fez e assistiu. Abra um parênteses, não esqueça que independente disso, eu não passo de um malandro, de um moleque do Brasil, que peço e dou esmolas, mas ando e penso sempre com mais de um. Por isso ninguém vê minha sacola. Vai arunde gada gada gundem. Vai aratingada, beira tingada gundem. Tingada gunda gumbeira pumbada gundeiro tem.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Oi, Thalita. Hello.
Oi.
So we are going to start this first day of festival. And again, we are so happy. And that's amazing that you are here. And Natasha has a task to begin this day. Thank you.
Yeah. So we're going to start on time because Nina is in Tokyo and it's very late. Maybe more people will join during the session. Tá gravando já? Tá. Well, first of all, thank you so much for coming. Welcome to the Duna's first festival and first anniversary celebration today at Labor Day. As you all know, Duna is a labor from the heart. From me and Bruna, but also each one of you. And we are always looking for creating connections, collaborations, empowerment. So thank you for being here. It's really good to see your faces again. Today's encounter is about nature and art, as we were all able to experience lately. Nature is begging the attention to the human's relation with it. How do we relate with nature? Today, 8 artists from 8 different countries, from Tokyo to Buenos Aires, from USA to Mozambique, we will approach that question in different ways. How do the West and the East see nature and work with art? How we produce and how we consume? What are we throwing away and what is jewelry? Can nature itself be artwork or art material, literally? Are we doing a responsible use of what it offers? How to do a sustainable collaboration miles away? Is nature where we came from and where we are going to? How are we honoring our ancestors and their connection with nature? How are we connecting with nature? So that being said, let's start the presentations. The first presentation is going to be Nina, directly from Tokyo.
Hello, everyone, and congratulations, Bruna and Natasha, for the first anniversary of Duna. Super happy for being a part of this and to see everyone. And I'll just present myself a little bit. So as Natasha and Bruna mentioned, my name is Nina. I have been living in Tokyo for the past 6 years or so, and I'm an artist and I'm a researcher. So today I don't want to talk about my art, but I do want to talk about a part of my PhD dissertation, actually, which when Natasha was presenting the topic about nature and how we relate to that, I sort of took it more to that dichotomy between nature and culture, and how the environment in which we as artists create, how it impacts the way that we feel as an artist, and the fact that the impacts the way that we create. And for that, I sort of decided to look specifically at Japanese context, since I'm in Japan. And I feel that the way that Japanese art world has been sort of evolving has been different from at least my experiences in Europe. And so I'd like to share that with you, and maybe if we'll have time to see your thoughts and see if it relates in any way to like your experiences in your countries or wherever you're located right now. So so in Japan, God, where do I start? I've been talking, like for my thesis, I've been talking to a lot of contemporary Japanese artists who are currently living in other countries. And for a lot of them, one of the main reasons of going away from Japan is a still very conservative art environment that is shaped largely by certain art organizations to which an artist has to belong, or otherwise he or she will not be qualified to entering like a professional circle of artists. And for these organizations to form, there were a lot of historical reasons, and I'll dive a little bit into that without trying to bore you too much on the historical part. So you probably know that in Europe, in medieval times, there was this like guild and workshop oriented system, right? So there was like one workshop master who would be like sort of the head of the workshop, and there he'd have like some journeyman assistants, and it would be sort of like a pyramid scheme of everybody trying to make one thing without like really attributing a name. Sort of like there was not like one person as we imagine today an artist, right, who's like, okay, this is like Michelangelo and he created this thing. At that point there was like one workshop and everybody were sort of working together for the same goal. So it was sort of more for the sake of the group that is making one product than any other way around. So in Japan, essentially it was pretty much the same system, except unlike in Europe, it lasted for a much longer time. So pretty much until roughly 18th century, that was the case in Japan. So there was one master artist whose name the whole pyramid would adopt. Like sometimes they would even legally adopt their assistants so that they actually legally belong to the same family. So it was very common for beginner artists or to assistants to change their last name to the name of that top guy that they were working under. And there was this system of fees already from like 15th century or so. So people who are like on sort of like this base level, they would pay a certain fee to the masters who are like above them. Masters who are above them, they would pay like a higher fee to others, and like basically legit pyramid scheme. And like people would just like be paying fees. And then the top guy, he does not only dictate like the style to which everybody should adhere to, he does not only dictate to like who to kick out and who to promote, but also he collects sort of all the money and he collects all the fame. And basically he sort of becomes the face of a certain school or of a certain like style of doing things. And these things started, this thing especially flourished in like 16th to 18th century when Japan went to like full isolation for about 200 years. Like it literally closed all its borders to all of the neighbors and all of the European countries because they had like some small argument with the Portuguese, actually, no offense. So they literally closed off the whole country for 200 years because they were so pissed off with them. And at the point, anyway, at that point, like all the arts flourished and this whole system was flourished. But the thing is that like at that time, while Japan was sort of evolving with its own domestic arts and sort of promoting and like perpetuating that system they already had, they did not really have much contact with the countries outside. So in the 19th century, the US forced Japan to finally open up after 200 years of basically being completely isolated. And then Japan started receiving more of the Western understandings of what art is. And in fact, that ended up being like a major existential crisis for a lot of them, because like they are used to one thing and now there's like a bunch of other people saying, hey, you know, like this whole group system, it's super over. Now we're into individual people and like recognizing their genius. And people were like, yeah, we don't really get that. So at that point, like Japanese people felt that there is a need to distinguish between the art that was done in Japan before traditionally, and they called it Nihonga, which literally means Japanese style of painting, and everything that they imported from the West, like oil painting, pastels, watercolors, whatnot, they called it Yoga, or the Western painting. And that was happening around 19th century. And this is important because while at first, when Japan opened to the West, I hope I'm not talking too fast because I know I have a tendency to. So when Japan opened to the West, they were super into like this whole Western things and like perspective and anatomy, because as you probably have seen like Japanese ukiyo-e prints, right? Like the whole idea of Japanese art before it opened to the West was like this solid block of colors, no perspective, like more line oriented than sort of color oriented, I guess, in a way. So, and then like they were starting to see that other approach. And a lot of people didn't like this new infatuation with the Western style of art. So they tried to promote their traditional Japanese style of painting more. And that is when the government opened Bunten, which was sort of this art association that was supposed to provide venue for exhibitions and also like provide some sort of like quality standards for what is good art and what is not good art. And this is kind of similar to the salon that they had in France, like, you know, and against which like the Fauvistes and Matisse and all of these people were sort of like not happy with. So, so Bunten took that role. And in fact, before Bunten appeared, Japan had no concept of galleries and no concept of showing your art publicly. The only place where commoners could see any type of artwork was going to a temple. And temple mostly hosted only like religious themed, like Buddhist scriptures, some Shinto art, very rarely, but like mostly, you know, like Buddhism inspired artwork. So Bunten, like pretty much only in late 19th century, for the first time in Japanese history, there were like centralized, organized exhibition venues where people could show their art and where people could see other people's art. Obviously, very soon there was a problem with that because it soon became super institutionalized, it became super conservative, it became like very commanding and very controlling. And as you probably have like an idea that Japan is a very like hierarchical society. So like that also sort of translated into like the policies of Bunten. So obviously people weren't having that. People started revolting against that, but there was not a lot of alternative because the culture was not yet established of like showing art and giving the venues. After World War II, newspaper companies started to give alternative to that Bunten organization. So newspaper companies would provide like independent exhibitions that allowed artists who did not belong to those art organizations that were already there, that were like already formed. And you were sort of, after you graduate from art academy, you're expected to join an art organization to which you're basically working as like, as an office worker in a way, because like your status rises proportionately to the amount of years that you've been in that art organization. And it's pretty much the same pyramid scheme that we had from like the Middle Ages in Japan, right? Except like now there were like a lot of them and they all belong to this bunten situation. So newspaper companies started to provide alternative space for all the avant-garde artists that started to appear, and department stores also started to do that. However, people were still not liking it, and a lot of people started to, in 60s especially, a lot of people started to leave Japan. It's like, I'm sure all of you know, like Yayoi Kusama, Takashi Murakami, all these famous Japanese artists that are now celebrated in Japan and in like the whole world, Yoshitomo Nara, they all left Japan because there was no space for them and no funding and no appreciation from people to continue doing that art. Also financially, it was completely not possible. So then they went abroad, and then when they made it there, they were welcomed with open arms back in Japan. And also times have changed since the 60s and 70s, of course. So all of this, what it means for Japanese art scene now, which is basically my point, but I promise it's relevant. So now in Tokyo alone, we have like 500 galleries, which seems like a lot and seems like cool and seems like our art scene is flourishing. But more than like 60 or 70% of these galleries are rental galleries. So I think in the US, they have this term vanity gallery, or like it kind of feels scammy if you look at it from Western perspective. But like in Japan, this is like a totally normal thing. And any young artist is expected to rent a gallery to first start promoting this art, his or her art. So they appeared, again, as a good initiative because there was only that bunten. So like people started opening their gallery spaces, artist run spaces, and they're like, hey, you can rent our place and you can show your stuff. And people are like, cool, that's like democratizing art. That's fantastic. But then what started as a good thing ended up being just like this whole capitalist money laundering thing that it is right now in Japan. And the thing is that like with the majority of these galleries, okay, you can be extremely good. You can rent that space for like approximately, I don't know, $300 per day. Like that's being like the lowest sort of, from like 300 to like 1,000 something. So like a lot of exhibitions in Tokyo, they last like for 3 days. That's like sort of standard for rental galleries. You can be insanely good, but the thing is that like not a single curator, not a single like art journalist, not a single art critic would go to those galleries because they know that they're rental ones, right? And then there's a small amount of legit galleries that sadly focus only on established artists or on artists like Yayoi Kusama or Takashi Murakami who made it there and then they came back. So this leaves a lot of artists in Japan, like I'm not even talking about like foreigner artists in Japan, but like Japanese artists in Japan in a very sort of tricky situation because first of all, okay, let's say you sort of finish your requirement of going to a good art school, you have a famous teacher, because this is still very relevant who your teacher is in Japan. Okay, you made it. Then let's say you chose an art organization that is sort of dictating you what to do and what not to do. Okay. And then you get to exhibit pretty much either only with that art organization, and yet you still have to pay for exhibiting with your organization that you're already a member of. So to sum it up, that is kind of state of Japanese art world right now. And I honestly don't see, like, sort of on the surface, a lot of things are happening, a lot of festivals are happening, a lot of like initiatives are happening, but they all are focusing almost exclusively on established artists or an established foreign artist. So that's it. And the topic of my PhD dissertation was about why Japanese artists leave abroad, and that kind of answers my question. So thank you for being with me in this slightly depressing talk. I hope in all of our countries it's better, and we'll find a way to, get through it either way. So thanks and good night.
Thank you so much, my friend. It was amazing to listen to your research. It's a sad thing, and I'm sorry for that, but you gave us like a a big picture of this that you are researching. Thank you. Thank you.
If there is any question to Nina, she still have 5 minutes. If anyone wants to share something or ask her. You can always put on the chat during the session also.
I would like to ask if is there like even not in the pop art world, but in non-fundam, I don't know, like if there is some organizations that tries to support artists, young artists, or like they're not in the names of the artists, you know. I would like to ask you that.
They're starting to appear, which is super exciting, actually, but it is still going very, very slowly. But there are several residencies that are trying to, yeah, like Japanese Duna, sort of. That's right. Like, it's changing bit by bit, very, very slowly. Even like compared to when I arrived here 6 years ago, I can see some movement, but it's still not as I think partially, as I mentioned earlier, just because it's still very new for Japan to have like this diverse art scene and to have this like non-group oriented art scene, like it's sort of natural for Japan to sort of be a bit slower in that. So we do see some movement, so that's pretty encouraging to otherwise a slightly depressing topic. I hope that answers your question.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much, Nina, for being awake so late to share with us. Well, so we will continue the program with a video made in collaboration with Patricia, that is here in the train, and Rebecca, that's probably it's gonna arrive later. And I don't know, Patricia, are you able
actually
to... Yeah.
yeah, actually Rebecca is driving, so I don't know if she can introduce herself, but yeah, I can tell a few words. So Rebecca is a sound artist, and we were experimenting with jewelry making and sound, because I'm using ready-made objects and found materials for my jewelry. And actually this is my degree project as well. And in the video you can see how I build these things and how I make. And we were experimenting with this. And I'm from Hungary, from Budapest. This is Hungary. And yeah. And I hope you enjoy it. It's quite short, but I think it's an interesting project. And actually, I want to work on this more in the future. Thank you. And thank you for the opportunity. This is an amazing idea to make a festival like this.
Thank you, Patricia. And Patricia is traveling on train in Hungary, and Rebecca, she's from New York. So they met in Duna and they did this collaboration. We are so happy to see it and to share it. Let's see.
Let me know if there is any problem, okay, with the sound or video. Hey, so nice. Congrats.
Thank you. I mean, for me and Rebecca, it was very interesting, and I hope we can work on this in the future.
How did you get into the how you got, like, you talked before and then you decided to do this kind of video? And
Actually, we talked when we discussed the festival. So she wrote me, and because I wrote that I want to make a collab, and she wrote me, and then we started to work. So it's kind of experimental working for me as well, because I'm using only these ready-made objects for my works. If you have any questions, please.
I have a question. Is this like how you, this is part of your creative process? You put the objects on the table and make this, try to mix and match
Yes,
them?
yeah. Yes, the searching is there in my process. Yeah.
I recommend everybody to look for Patricia's work. It's very interesting to look at her Instagram. If you can share in the chat, that would be cool.
Yeah, I can.
It's so nice to see these collaborations going on. It's really, really exciting. Well, so...
I have a question for Patricia.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing. It was so meditative to watch that. I wanted to ask you if you had prepared what you want to do before, or did it just came naturally to put the things together like that?
Actually, I had some plan I had some objects which I prepared before, but I usually like to keep it fresh and just do what so it's like an improvisation, but this time I prepared something. I wanted to show how I work and how ideas came to mind.
And and Rebecca created the sound after you
Yes.
sent her the video.
Yes, yes. And actually, she also used this kind of materials for the sound, this kind of ready-made objects. I mean, not the same, but different.
Yeah, from the same family. Amazing.
Yeah, I think it would be also interesting to see how Rebecca is working.
Yeah, like two videos.
Like the double.
Your video
Yes.
and her video. For
Yes.
the other festival, you can prepare these.
Well, if there is no more questions, we can continue. Thank you so much, Patricia.
Thank you very much.
It's really nice to see that there is new ways to try your work, to show your process. That's really nice. And the sound's amazing. Like then, it's super important to have more people to work with, to do things you can't do, you know, like to have a nice sound in the back of like contributing to your work. Really nice. So feel free to talk between the artists in the room.
Sorry, hello? Hello?
Oh, yes. Hello.
Yes, Patricia, I have a question. I can? Yeah, like the material that you are using, it's a material to sew. Or like there was more stuff because I thought maybe just material to sew.
Sorry, I couldn't understand.
Like the things that you are using, the stuff that you are using, the sew.
So yeah, actually, I'm using every kind of objects from my house and so, like ready-made objects, and I'm recontextualizing these objects, and that's how I make this kind of experiments. So I use every kind of objects.
Yeah,
And sometimes I can find very interesting connection.
Okay.
Could you maybe write on the chat, because there is some problem with my network, I think.
Yeah, I understand what you said. I understand.
Sorry, I couldn't hear it.
I think he said that he understands what you said. That.
Oh,
but
okay.
Vasco, you should take a look at her Instagram to see the final use of the objects, like how she presents at the end the objects, because I think this is gonna help like to have an idea of like the final presentation of the object itself.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. So let's continue with the program. The next one is Luciana Pontes. Lu, are you able to introduce your work? I don't know if you are
She's not here. It's her father.
Okay.
Hello, Pontes. Oi, Pontes.
Oi, oi.
She's at work right now, and we have a recorded video of her work. And she just sent me a video introducing herself. I'm gonna try to show to you, but it's on my WhatsApp. I am downloading it because she thought she would be able to introduce herself, and then we show the video. But let's try. Wait.
Hello guys, I'm Luciana Pontes, a Brazilian artist living in Portugal. Unfortunately, I can't be there today with you, but I prepare a video with the help of a lot of people, including Bruna and Natasha, the owners of Duna project. Feel free to email me, to message me on Instagram or on my WhatsApp number. You can ask for the girls, they have it, and I hope you enjoy the video.
Woohoo!
I love it. Like the screen. Okay, so I'm gonna share the Luciana's video. She's in Lisbon. She's a Brazilian artist living in Lisbon.
O que é arte? Arte é o todo, o pouco, a sociedade, os detalhes saturados. Acho que o lixareiro representa bem a arte, o detalhe saturado, o detalhe expandido. Arte é vivência, é lixo, descartável. Arte é reciclável. Arte é o olhar do artista, do não artista, do ser artista. Arte é poesia, é vida. O que é arte? A arte é a expressão da humanidade. Isso é arte. Peraí. Agora isso é arte.
Mas aí não era o quadro de outra artista.
Agora é nova arte. Arte contemporânea.
Por cima da outra.
Arte contemporânea. Everything that I do in my art, I do using the environment around me. My art is surrounded by the places that I live and that I work. And because of my personal story, where I should and I could only use things that I could find for free or for not a lot of money, I had to know how to work with the things that I already had. So now I still do the same. I just try to find beauty and to find art where I am and with what I have. In my work, I try to see and find materials there that already exist and I try to see them and use them the way that they already presented themselves to the world. So when I took the pictures in Lixaredo, I saw all of the trash, the garbage there. It was exactly how I found it. I just tried to look in a more detailed way, finding each object alone and all of them together to create this image that what already exists is already beautiful. What I find more interesting in a work of art is the thought behind it and not just what is being showed for us. So I really like to see or understand what's going on behind the art. I think this is the thing that interests me the most. And I also enjoy seeing work of arts where you can see regular normal things being showed for us as art. So you just change the context of one normal thing and it absolutely changes our view. I would like Lixaredo to be received as a project, an ongoing project that is just in its start. We as society produce a lot of things we don't need, and we use things and we just throw it away. And there's plenty of work to do around Lixaredo as a project, because we will have garbage for a long time in our society, even if we stop right now like producing trash. So I feel that Lixaredo has a lot to give as this way of looking at these forgotten things.
Agora, de verdade, eu quero falar do modo com que eu saturo e destaco detalhes de um instante. Porque o Lixaredo, a ideia é que vá muito mais além do lixo por si. Essa captação desse instante e os detalhes, eles sobressaem
mostrar mais o detalhe, mais as cores, né?
Sim, a cor é isso.
Do que tu tá vendo ali no momento.
Isso. E a textura.
E a saturação ajuda a reproduzir aquilo que tu viu naquele momento.
Sim.
Através da lente fica outra cor. Não fica exatamente.
Sim. E eu quero que o detalhe, porque eu tenho uma coleção de fotos também que é só detalhes de calçadas, de paredes, às vezes ranhuras, as partes que estão estragadas mesmo que a gente não tá nem aí. Eu gosto porque tem esse relevo na foto, texturas diferentes, não sei o quê. Então isso é o Lixaredo, na verdade. É captar esses pequenos detalhes e transformar eles em algo e ampliar eles, entendeu?
Uhum.
Porque eu me interesso pela textura, pela cor, que aquele pequeno detalhe faz no todo. Faz algum sentido?
Uhum. O que ninguém para enxergar quando vê uma pilha de coisas, ninguém parar para ver um detalhezinho ali, o que tem uma cor, tem uma textura.
E nesse sentido, o lixo é maravilhoso, né? Porque o lixo é uma pilha de um monte de coisas com texturas diferentes, que são coisas individuais, que juntas formam uma coisa nada a ver, que não faz nenhum sentido. Não é?
Yeah.
Things that are left behind, details, textures, colors, different shapes, different places, medias mixed together, trying to capture what's happening, broken objects, colorful environments, colorful pictures.
Woohoo! Thanks, Luciana. You're not even there, but the video was amazing.
I laugh a lot because I know Luciana. I know Luciana in person, and it's very curious her ability to show her work, and at the same time create a kind of character that is making irony with her own work. So it's like same time visual arts and an actress making this obsessive with obsessed by the beauty of the garbage. For me, it's very curious. I really like it.
At the beginning, where she is super ironic, talking about what is art. Art is everything. Art is nothing. Art is garbage. I love it.
Yeah, it's fun because at same, and then there is another moment that you say, but it's true. Like there is this kind of this beauty in the textures, in the colors, and this way of looking to the garbage. It's an artist look also, but it's funny how she plays with the both. Okay, so if Bruna, you can share the Luciana's Instagram. Ah, you have it there already.
Yeah.
Oh, very fast. If anybody wants to write her something. So let's keep going. Next to present is Carla Palacios. Would you like to introduce yourself? And I will prepare the image for you.
Sí, hola, puedo hablar en español y ya me ayudan ahí traduciendo. Hola, buenos días a todas y todos. Yo estoy acá en México, soy Carla, soy artista visual y me especializo en la fotografía y el grabado principalmente. Y bueno, ahorita que las chicas compartan pantalla ya irán viendo, pero les mostraré un poco como de mi contexto. Entonces, a mí me interesa como reflexionar sobre la relación entre el humano y su entorno, específicamente en mi comunidad, porque estamos en una zona que todavía es semiurbana. Entonces, pues estamos rodeados de humedales y todavía hay mucha naturaleza y todavía se siembra con técnicas ancestrales. Y de cierta manera solo hay otras 3 localidades donde todavía se mantiene esto y se ha ido perdiendo un poco. Entonces, pues me gustaría como recuperar eso en mi comunidad y que, pues sí, que en colectivo se luche por proteger y conservar estos espacios que todavía existen. Y bueno, entonces mi propuesta también más hacia el lado artístico. Recientemente he estado experimentando con una técnica que se llama antotipia, que es similar a la cianotipia, para crear imágenes con verduras o plantas, raíces o especias. Y pues esto lo hace una técnica 100% ecológica, que no genera residuos, ni se usan los químicos tóxicos en la fotografía. Y ahora eso lo estoy llevando al trabajo mediante talleres con mis vecinos y vecinas, para también como preguntarnos y reflexionar y reconocer nuestro territorio, que pues es cercano a los humedales, a los árboles todavía, a las chinampas, que es el sistema de siembra. Entonces, bueno, en eso ando y no sé si por ahí estén las imágenes, chicas, para que vean un poquito de eso. ¿Sí? Va. Bueno, este es un poco como de lo que hay en lo que nos rodea. El lugar en el que yo vivo se llama Xochimilco y hay otros, les comentaba, 3 localidades más que serían Milpalta y Tláhuac, donde todavía hay como espacios rurales. Entonces, pues esto todavía está muy presente en nuestro entorno y yo busco a través pues, de estos talleres o también de mis propuestas que se reconozca y se valore como este entorno natural y se actúe también por el mismo. Entonces, si quieres, ve ahí cambiándole, porfa, Natasha. Esto que se ve ahí atrásito, donde se ve como una vaquita, es el sistema de siembra que se tiene todavía aquí, que son las chinampas. Entonces, pues todavía está en medio de los canales, son como islas flotantes. Entonces todavía se siembra allí y de cierta manera las personas que trabajan en esa tierra son quienes sostienen y han mantenido todavía al resto de la ciudad.
Creo que esta es la última
sí.
de la primera carpeta.
Sí.
¿Sí?
Porfis, ayúdame con la otra carpeta.
Vale. Es precioso, ¿eh? O sea, tú vives realmente este es tu alrededor.
Sí, sí, sí. Afortunadamente todavía eso.
Sí. Uy. A ver, ahí voy.
Eso. Entonces, bueno, ya que vieron un poquito como lo que me rodea, pues siempre he tenido como esa preocupación por proteger eso y que también las demás personas se interesen por ello. Así que he llevado eso a mis propuestas artísticas y les comentaba recientemente de esa técnica de fotografía. Entonces, pues esta es una imagen que obtuve con Betabel. Entonces, si quieres, vele ahí pasando y ya les voy contando. Esta es con cúrcuma. Esta también es con cúrcuma. Y pues ha sido toda una exploración buscando como otros pigmentos y buscando qué tenemos cerca para poder trabajar con esos materiales y seguir realizando fotografías, porque cuando yo descubrí esa técnica me topé yo estaba en la fotografía análoga y el uso de los químicos y en el laboratorio y los papeles fotográficos, Y a mí me parecía, pues los químicos eran muy, muy tóxicos, tanto para nosotras como para el ambiente. Y pues los residuos que se generaban. Entonces, una maestra fue la que me enseñó este proceso alternativo y dije, wow, es hermoso. Y entonces ha sido como mucha exploración allí y ver que se puede seguir haciendo fotografía e imágenes con otros materiales que sean más amigables con el ambiente. Por ejemplo, esto es con espinaca. Y esta es con tomate. Y creo que la siguiente imagen es como el antes y el después, eso. Entonces, bueno, se pone la imagen sobre un papel o tela con la emulsión de jitomate y se expone al sol y después de unas cuantas horas en el sol es que se obtiene la imagen que estaba anterior. Y ya. Entonces, pues eso ha sido como explorar por allí y también, pues es como mi propuesta y también quiero llevar a que mis vecinas y vecinos se acerquen a esta técnica y lo relacionemos con nuestro entorno. Y eso lo estoy trabajando ahí mediante talleres y ahí ando en eso, como ahora en el proceso con la comunidad. Y si aún tengo tiempito. Bueno, ahora me gustaría invitarles a hacer un ejercicio rápido. Entonces, bueno, si tienen por ahí alguna semilla de alguna, no sé, de una manzana o un frijol o algo, vayan por ella, si pueden. Yo aquí tengo a la mano una semillita de frijol. Entonces, bueno, trabajaré con ella.
¿De lentejas sirve?
Sí, sí, cualquier semillita. Cualquier cosa que dé vida después.
Carla, hay una chica preguntando si las fotografías son analógicas o digital.
Sí, son análogas. Es similar a la cianotipia, pero con verduras, con pigmentos, sí, de verduras o raíces, plantas.
Pero las fotografías que hiciste tú de las imágenes son digitales, ¿no?
Bueno, son como imágenes son hojas, pues, o plantas, arrancadas directas así de las plantas, y las puse sobre el papel. Y ya, así. O las de Xochimilco, esas sí son digitales.
Vale.
Ujú.
Pero las imágenes de las fotografías que tú haces con las plantas, o sea, los archivos que me enviaste, lo hiciste tú con un móvil o con una cámara, ¿no?
Los escaneé, fueron escaneados.
Ah,
Ajá,
escanear.
pero sí, son análogos. Ajá.
Le voy a decir.
Yo tengo un frijol acá.
Sí, está perfecto. Ahí está. Entonces, bueno, si ya estamos listas, pues si quieren pueden cerrar sus ojitos. Vamos a hacer solo como una reflexión y una meditación si quieren. Entonces, bueno, tengamos nuestra semillita en la mano. Y vamos a empezar a pensar si en nuestro alrededor hay alguna planta, si estamos rodeadas de algún ser verde, si compartimos nuestro espacio con estos otros seres. Y pensemos también cómo es nuestra relación con las plantas. Pensemos también en lo que ellas nos dan, desde el oxígeno, si es un árbol, en los alimentos, como por ejemplo el maíz, o si son plantas curativas para hacer remedios, en la herbolaria, o simplemente son nuestra compañía. Pensemos cómo nos relacionamos con los seres verdes. Ahora también vamos a pensar qué cosas compartimos con ellas y también qué cosas serán diferentes. ¿Será que ellas también pueden oler, sentir? ¿Tendrán esa capacidad de comunicarse entre plantas, entre árboles? ¿Qué cosas compartimos con los seres verdes? Ahora vamos a pensar en 10 plantas o las que se les vengan a la mente con las cuales se identifiquen, ya sea por su forma, por sus colores, por su significado, por su historia. ¿En qué plantas ustedes se pueden ver reflejadas y reflejados? Y bueno, ahora con todo esto en mente y con su semillita, me gustaría que quienes quieran, vamos a transferirle o hacer alguna acción con nuestra semillita. Y la idea sería que al final de esta actividad, bueno, al final del festival, vayamos y la sembremos. Entonces, bueno, empiezo y si alguien quiere continuar transfiriéndole alguna acción a nuestra semilla, adelante. Entonces, bueno, yo quiero, por favor, tomemos nuestra semillita y la llevamos al corazón y le agradecemos por todo lo que nos va a dar y también lo que nos ha dado ya. Y bueno, si alguien quiere continuar y hacer algo con su semilla, con nuestras semillas, adelante. Estaba hablando con el micrófono apagado. Bueno, entonces no sé si alguien quisiera como agregar alguna otra acción que quiera que compartamos hacia las semillas. Entonces, si alguien quiere, si no, pues ya. Solo eso, guardarla y sembrarla después.
Ya puse mi semilla en la tierra.
Será
A
la
ver
semilla
qué
de
onda.
Duna en honor al festival también. A ver qué tal va el próximo año.
Eso fue lo que he pensado. En vez de plantar, y que nos traiga más festivales
Sí,
y abundancia.
sí, sí. Y pues ya, eso sería todo de mi parte. Igual agradecerles mucho, chicas, y felicidades por todo lo que han hecho, ya un año. Qué hermoso. Y gracias por conectarnos con muchas otras personas. Gracias.
Gracias, Carla, a ti.
Gracias a ti por compartir tus fotos, tu laburo de nuevo y también las fotos de tu pueblo. Fue increíble mirarlo. Están lindísimas las fotos. Gracias. Y
Cuando
que siga
quieran, invitadas.
creciendo.
Ay, sí, quiero.
Sí, vengan.
I wanted to say
Gracias.
that Carla shared with us in a Duna cycle. She did a workshop to make these photographs with the plants. It was really nice, and we are excited to have the workshop again anytime. Carla, si luego puedes decirnos el nombre otra vez de la técnica esta en el chat, que así la gente puede informarse de cómo va mejor. Pero muy hermoso todo, muchas gracias.
Hola, I have a question for her.
Yes.
Yeah, like I would like to know that the exercise she did, she created the exercise, or it's already something that's existing.
What?
Like the last exercise she did with the seed. The last exercise she did with the seed, it's a
Yo pienso que él está preguntando si tú creaste este ejercicio, el último que diste con la semilla, o si lo sacaste de algún lugar. Creo que era eso.
Lo adapté un poco, pero la idea con la semilla y transferirle como alguna acción.
exercise that it's already existing, or she.
Ya, creo que se trabó un poquito. Ahí está. Bueno, la idea con la semilla de transferirle como alguna acción y después sembrarla, la tomé de un taller que, bueno, acá, que se llama Jardines Autobiográficos. Entonces también es como nuestra relación con las plantas y nuestra historia propia. Entonces, pues hicimos este ejercicio, me pareció muy bonito y ya fui adaptando yo ahí como estas preguntas y reflexiones que les hice al comienzo y ya, eso.
Qué bonito el nombre, jardín autobiográfico.
Gracias, Carla. Vasco, I wrote to you what she said about the exercise in the chat. So, moving on.
Okay, so the next presentation would be a performance of Luciana de Lugas. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but she didn't arrive yet. So I thought about, or we can do a little 5 minutes break to go to the toilet and have some water, coffee, and then we come back and we skip her and continue with the program. And if she arrives, we do her presentation. Let's make a break, 5 minutes. Okay, we'll be right back.
Hello, hello. Well, let's move on with
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome, everybody who just get in. That's really exciting. We have almost 30 people here now. Woo! Woo!
Thanks for supporting Duna. Here we are presenting the artists that already passed through Duna in a lot of rounds, so you can see a bit of everything. You can follow us on Instagram, and also you can help us to donating for our project to keep our Zoom Premium and our Canva, where we create everything that we post on Instagram, and you can help us there. Thank you.
Ok, so queria perguntar a Lu se como está, se já estás preparada, se necessitas mais tempo.
Aquí estoy.
¿Estás ready?
Muy bien, entonces con ustedes, Luciana.
Muy bien. ¿Cómo están? ¿Qué tal? ¿Todo bien, amigos y amigas?
Todo bien, amiga.
Espero que sí. Me alegra muchísimo. Hoy estamos aquí para presentar este nuevo y maravilloso producto que ya podrán encontrar fácilmente en todas las góndolas de los super e hipermercados y de varios países también. Pero ahora, además, estaré presentando esta nueva oferta para televidentes que al final del video les voy a contar. Bien, vamos a comenzar viendo qué es este nuevo y revelador producto del mercado ilegal de bosques nativos de nuestro país. Como pueden ver, son pequeños árboles de verdad que podemos usar de fósforos. Son mucho mejores que los fósforos comunes. ¿Qué mejor que quemar tu propio arbolito en casa? Prende rápido y vale poco. Y además, son 100% naturales. A continuación, haremos una demostración práctica de cómo este fósforo dura mucho más prendido que los regulares. Pero primero, voy a prender la hornalla para preparar mi mate de todos los días. Hoy este horno a veces no funciona. No es de la misma marca, disculpe. Voy a prender otro pequeño arbolito por aquí. Muy bien. Voy a dejar este árbol quemándose en vivo, solo para ustedes televidentes vía Zoom. Y mientras tanto por aquí, prender un fósforo regular de los que todos tenemos en casa. Vamos a poder corroborar cuál es la mejor calidad de este producto. ¿Lo ven? Miren cómo este sigue prendido aquí. No es necesario esperar a que los grandes poderes arruinen nuestros bosques. Podemos en nuestras propias casas. ¿Lo ven? Aún continúa encendido. Además tienen agroquímicos. Muy bien, amigos. Creo que este agua para el mate ya está preparado. Vamos a hacer una demostración práctica que le otorga sabor a nuestras preparaciones. Este agua está preparada con detenimiento de la selva prisionera. Bien, aquí esta persona que ha venido a probar el producto nos va a comentar qué opina acerca del sabor que estos árboles nativos le otorga a nuestra preparación diaria, en este caso mate. ¿Qué opinas, Johnny?
Sabe a verdadero bosque nativo guaraní extinto.
No, el sabor es único y realmente nos remite a tierras destruidas. Ahora bien, vamos a hacer una segunda prueba del producto. Como verán, este de aquí sigue dando humo. ¿Pueden ver? De este producto aún sigue prendido, pero bien, les estaba comentando que por aquí tengo este termo preparado con agua de ombú, proveniente de La Pampa. ¿Y ahora qué opinas, Johnny?
Es excelente. Sabe a pampa húmeda conquistada por Julio Argentino Roca.
Estos fósforos nativos realmente pueden acercarnos a los tiempos donde no se necesitaban excusas para matar a aborígenes y gente negra. Muy bien, ahora sí, llegó el momento de interactuar con nuestros clientes. Quizás alguien tenga alguna duda acerca de este producto y quiera decirlo ahora. Es el momento antes de realizar la oferta para poder comprar. ¿Hay alguien aquí presente en esta compra, televidentes, que quiera hacer alguna pregunta? Es el momento. Pueden levantar sus micrófonos y hacerla. Pueden escribirlo en el chat. Esto es televisión en vivo, amigos. Aquí estamos respondiendo todas sus dudas. This is other made is made with water. I couldn't read it all. Sorry. We have an international group of people here, you know. This is not only able in Argentina, and it doesn't taste like burnt indigenous lands and dicta. Well, it tastes at wherever you want to, you know. We have beginning here trees from Argentina, but then we will improve and take trees from other countries too, you know. I'm sorry, I can't read the chat while I was transmitting. ¿Hay alguna otra pregunta por aquí? ¿Alguien tiene alguna otra duda para realizar? Si no, ya podemos realizar la oferta para que puedan probar en sus propios hogares. Does anyone have a question about it? Muy bien, amigos y amigas. Veo que ha sido muy clara la venta de mi producto. Genial. A continuación, entonces, pasaré a proponer la oferta. Si llama ahora y levanta la mano, no solo llevará una caja grande de fósforos, la arboleda de reserva, además y totalmente gratis, podrá recibir esta pequeña caja que acompaña el producto para que sus árboles sepan a lo que usted quiera, a la región de nuestro país que usted quiera absorber con sus preparaciones. Repito, no es solo para tomar mate, infusiones, tés, sino que también usted puede preparar guisos, puede preparar todo tipo de alimentos que quiera consumir. Acaba de apagarse, ¿lo han visto? Ha estado como 5 minutos prendido. ¿Lo ven? Realmente funciona, miren, miren amigos, aún sigue prendido. No puede compararse con este fósforo regular. Realmente la calidad es superior. Y el aroma realmente sabe a bosque nativo y legalmente talado. Muy bien, amigos y amigas. Vamos a continuación a realizar la siguiente actuación. The purpose has just been extinguished. Yes, everything is being extinguished just for this product that you can get right now, just hanging up your hand. So at this moment, if you want to get this product with this offer, you can hang up your hand. Si alguien quiere este producto ahora, solo debe levantar la mano y se lo enviaremos. Bolsonaro, presidente de Brasil, vai adorar não consegui ler o que estava aí. O presidente Bolsonaro vai adorar esse produto mesmo, sim. Eu posso enviar para ele agora, se alguém tiver o endereço dele, eu posso enviar para ele também provar o chimarrão. É aí, né? Tem um outro nome. E
Sim,
outras
é
preparações.
chimarrão.
Chimarrão. Legal, muito bem. Eu sei que ele vai adorar, como todo mundo que pode provar esse produto incrível. Bem,
Luciana, tenemos alguien que quiere comprar acá.
Alguien que quiere comprar, oh mi Dios, pero estoy muy feliz al respecto. ¿Quién es esa persona? Cuéntame, amiga o amigo. ¿Por qué quieres probar? ¿Por qué quieres probar este producto de la arboleda?
Maite, ¿quieres hablar de por qué quieres comprar?
Vamos, no seas tímido, tímida. Don't be shy.
Creo que no quiere mostrar su fase, no quiere ser reconocida como más una persona que manda árboles, pero tiene interés.
Muy bien, entonces le enviaremos este producto. No hace falta que lo emita aquí en televisión. Nosotros guardamos los datos de todas las personas que quieran. Mejor mantener el anonimato. Es cierto, amigos y amigas, a veces cuando hacemos cosas ilegales como... Es mejor que no nos conozcan, ¿cierto? Excelente. ¿Alguien más tiene alguna voluntad de comprar y de adquirir esta súper oferta solamente activa para Zoom por el Festival de Duna? Esto solamente está pensado por el día de hoy. Esta jornada se acaba hoy, amigos y amigas. Mañana tenemos la jornada de mujeres. Hoy es naturaleza. Hoy es el día de Duna para comprar este producto. Adquiéralo ahora solamente en este festival. Pues además, he olvidado decir feliz día a todas las personas que trabajan aquí. Yes, this offer is only Duna's Zoom. You know, you can get it right now at this moment, and it's just the opportunity for you to get this original native trees. Okay, can you just hang up and I send you the boxes for you? Solamente levantando la mano, le voy a enviar este producto sin necesidad de tener que mandarme la dirección, pues tenemos los datos de todas las personas aquí presentes. Adquiéralo ya. Muy bien, amigos y amigas. Creo que por hoy la oferta va a finalizar. Cualquier duda pueden preguntarle a mis amigas de Duna y ellas tendrán el contacto, solamente que no van a poder adquirir la oferta. Recibirán la caja única grande de la arboleda. Nos vemos en otra ocasión, amigos y amigas. Sigan conectados y conectadas a este maravilloso festival de Duna. Nos vemos.
Gracias, Luciana. Bueno, las interesadas recibirán sus fósforos de árboles. Quédense tranquilas, va a llegar a su casa en total anonimato.
Muchas gracias. Este ha sido el momento publicidad del festival.
Además
gracias.
de comprar los fósforos, pueden ayudar el proyecto Duna también. Voy a pasar en el chat.
Y bueno, muchas gracias a todos los fans de Lu que han llegado. Espero que hayan podido ver toda la performance. Eso, podéis dejar comentarios en el chat. Luciana está en Buenos Aires. For the ones who doesn't know, Luciana is from Buenos Aires. She just made this performance. She was in Duna a few months ago with another performance. And it's very nice to see that she's enjoying this space to try on new things. And thanks everybody for coming. Feel free to share on the chat your thoughts. So we are going to continue because the next person to present needs to leave soon. So I don't know if Vasco is still there. There are so many people in the room right now that Vasco?
Do you want to share the video until he appears?
Okay. He told me he needed to leave soon. So I'm going to share a video.
Hola.
Hello. Hola. Would you like to introduce the collaboration you made with Rebecca?
Uau, estou a ouvir muito baixo, não sei. Alô?
Oi, Vasco.
Oi, tudo bem?
Tudo bem. Você quer introduzir?
Consegues me ouvir? Consegues me ouvir?
Conseguimos.
Ah, tá bom. Mas eu estou a ouvir, só que estou a ouvir um pouco muito baixo, mas está tudo bem, consigo te ouvir.
Pode se apresentar em português e a gente traduz. E aí tu fala sobre o teu trabalho e a colaboração que você fez com a Rebeca.
Ah, tá. Tá bom. Pode ser, pode ser. Posso começar, né?
Pode.
Ok, sou Vasco Pedro Mirim, vivo em Moçambique, Maputo, sou bailarino, sou criador, também ao mesmo tempo faço escultura. Podes traduzir? Podes traduzir.
Tranquilo, estou traduzindo no chat.
Vamos apresentar um trabalho que colaborei com a Rebeca. Foi algo muito mais improvisado, tipo como podemos colaborar distante a partir do Zoom e como é que podemos fazer vídeo call. Então foi uma colaboração entre som e movimento. Então colaboramos, foi algo mais improvisado, tipo de um dia. Então é uma coisa tipo uma colaboração, como pode dizer, uma colaboração rápida, foi uma colaboração que só chegamos no espaço e improvisamos umas vezes, depois escolhemos um vídeo para mostrar durante o festival. Alô?
Oi, obrigada. Eu vou botar o vídeo.
Pode...
A Bruna traduziu no chat.
Tá bom, desculpa. Então é isso. E tem que falar sobre o meu solo também, né?
Pode falar.
Pode falar.
E fora da colaboração com a Rebeca, tenho o meu solo chamo Ritual e Cerimônia. É um solo que trago movimentos de danças tradicionais, é um formato contemporâneo. Para mim, acho que é mais nesse âmbito de querer inovar a cultura africana, tipo, querer desenvolver a cultura africana, mas trazendo a natureza das danças tradicionais de uma forma diferente, subdividindo os movimentos das danças tradicionais para tornarem-se mais claras, também trazendo o espírito e a analogia dos movimentos das danças tradicionais e os seus manifestos rituais. Então, esse solo fiz no Franco, é um centro cultural franco-moçambicano, tipo um centro cultural de francês aqui em Moçambique, ano passado. Então gostaria de a mostrar isso solo. And yeah, I think that's all. É tudo.
Obrigada,
Vamos ver o
Vasco.
trabalho.
Obrigada. Vamos ver esse trabalho maravilhoso. Vasco also participated in Duna, and he proposed a workshop, a dance workshop, and we have this recorded in our YouTube channel, Project Duna. You can go there and check it out. And you can also find Vasco on Instagram. Podes compartilhar no chat conosco tu Instagram, por favor, Vasco, enquanto
Sim.
vemos o vídeo. Obrigada.
Yeah, pause.
Agora vamos ver o vídeo da colaboração e depois a gente vê o vídeo do solo do Vasco.
Tá bom.
Ay, qué plomo.
Woohoo! That's great. I'm gonna share in the chat the contact of Vasco because he sent only to me. So. So this was another collaboration that was born in Duna. Rebecca is the other artist who was doing the sound. She's in the United States and Vasco is in Mozambique, and they did this collaboration through video call. Yes, and there is another video from his solo. I'm gonna share again the screen.
Vakaina kunjani shakala lishmanzmahela sho shakala lish vakaino shakala lishmanzmahela shakala lish vakaina kunjani shakala lishmanzmahela sho shakala vakaino shakala lishmanzmahela sho shakala lish vakaina kunjani shakala lishmanzmahela sho shakala vakaino shakala lishmanzmahela sho shakala
Uhul!
Uhul!
Gracias, Vasco. Quer falar alguma coisa?
Não tenho muito a falar, não sei se alguém tem uma pergunta, algo a questionar. Né?
Eu achei a produção sonora da Rebeca parecida com a do solo,
Ah, yeah.
né?
Mas a música que tem senhora de Bruxelas que me deu músicas delas, então eu usei essa música para o solo. Uma outra senhora faz muito DJ e músicas experimentais também.
Que massa. Parabéns, eu adorei. Ele tem
Obrigado.
qual é a duração do solo? Ele dura o que dura?
Normalmente essa é a segunda parte do solo. Normalmente o solo tem 38 minutos. Essa é a segunda parte que havia mostrado também quando eu mostrei no Franco foi deram duração de 15 minutos, então tive que fazer uma parte só, que foi a segunda metade, que é a última parte.
Uhum. É tão difícil fazer solo, né? Ou para você é fácil? Para mim é tão difícil. Como é que você sabe quando está pronto?
Isso é muito difícil porque a responsabilidade é muita. Em termos de luz, você tem que ver também e discutir o setup antes de fazer, depois de se preparar para entrar. Então, tens que estar coordenado com os técnicos e você também antes de entrar. Então, é uma coordenação que temos que estar sempre em sintonização.
E você chama alguém para te dirigir, para assistir, ou você trabalha sozinho e já apresenta?
Muitas das vezes tem feito trabalhos como intérprete. Então, esse solo é um dos primeiros que eu trabalho, o meu próprio, tipo, criei minha própria peça. Então, estava alguém, às vezes, uma pessoa que aparecia durante o mês, aparecia uma coisa de 4 vezes, uma ou 2 vezes por semana. Então, esse foi o meu primeiro trabalho. E a pessoa vinha uma ou 2 vezes por semana, vinha me dando feedback, eu ficava, trabalhava sozinho, então, yeah.
Uhum. Legal.
Outra coisa, talvez, para acrescentar, porque faço muito, já fiz, aliás, quando comecei a dançar, comecei mais com danças tradicionais, então, muito focalizado em inovar e desenvolver movimentos de danças tradicionais com que sejam mais claras e tentar expor elas de uma forma moderna e contemporânea para o mundo novo, tipo, tentar trazer aquilo que já existe, mas numa outra geração, tipo, numa nova geração, então tento inovar elas, não trazendo do jeito como são, mas tentar trazer a pedagogia e alguns métodos usados em danças tradicionais e muitas das vezes trabalho mais com, como fazer, aqui em Moçambique temos uns 2 bailarinos que fazem muito pass and throw e front loop, de David Zambrano, então tento combinar as duas coisas a partir dessa técnica de front loop e pass and throw, um pouco de correr, um pouco de mover os braços, mas também introduz um pouco de danças como danças contemporâneas, tipo danças modernas, um pouco de metodologias de balé, e o que é mais um pouco de release technique para que os movimentos não sejam muito compostos. Tipo, tentar manter a natureza a natureza do movimento, mas trazer elas mais leve. Que se um dia tivesse a ensinar alguém que não pode ir dentro daquela cultura africana, então a pessoa também possa engrenar dentro da dança.
Perfeito. A Carla perguntou como, quando você começou a dançar, você aprendeu a dançar e foi encontrando as suas linguagens.
Primeiramente, quando comecei a fazer artes, foi esculpindo. Tive um ano de formação em escultura e quando queria continuar com a escultura, alguém me convidou para dançar. Então, em 2011, comecei a dançar e a partir daí parei de esculpir e fiz mais dança do que esculpir. E ultimamente, esculpir às vezes faço umas algo pessoal, tipo, não faço para vender, faço mais para mim. Então comecei a dançar em 2011, e a partir de 2011, em 2012, 2012, e no princípio de 2012 foi quando comecei a fazer danças contemporâneas. Então fazia duas coisas, fazia danças contemporâneas e danças modernas. E a partir daí fui fazendo dança e foi quando viajei para estudar na PARTS em 2016. No segundo ano da PARTS comecei a pensar mais em trazer uma prática artística só minha, tipo criar uma prática artística. Então a partir daí que fui aprendendo mais danças modernas, okay? Então fui, porque também antes de ir para PARTS, em 2015 tive uma formação em Senegal numa escola chamada Escola de Sablés, é mais focalizada em técnicas de danças africanas e afro-contemporâneas. Então fui tentando trazer aquilo, mas de uma outra forma, tipo naquela linhagem de querer inovar movimentos de danças tradicionais africanas. Então, a partir daí, desde março até agora, ainda estou a trabalhar numa investigação, like research, tipo, é uma coisa pessoal, não é uma coisa que estou a ser financiado, é algo que eu trabalho, pratico sozinho. Não, eu comecei a dançar em 2011, até agora.
Muito bem, muito obrigada por nos contar um pouco da tua história. É maravilhoso te ver dançar e também saber, né, o que está por trás. Obrigada pela tua participação aqui no festival. A gente segue junto.
Muito obrigado também por compartilhar. É muito difícil ultimamente de ter um espaço para dançar. Tipo, cada momento que tu tens a oportunidade de dançar, tens que pensar que aquelas pessoas que estão lá, tens que pensar que estás no teatro a fazer um espetáculo. Então, cada momento que tu tiveres a oportunidade de dançar em frente de alguém, acho que é um momento para, como se diz, para saborear mais, tipo, tentar mostrar mais aquilo que tu tens, porque não temos nenhum espaço para dançar. Cada um dança no seu quarto, trancado. Então, em cada momento que tu tens para compartilhar, acho que tens que trazer tudo que tu tiveres, porque é o único momento que tu tens, não sabes? Depois desse momento, quando é que vais voltar a ter os palcos onde você pode compartilhar? Porque acho que arte é isso, arte é compartilhar, não seria arte sem compartilhar, tá? Só seria arte para ti, mas acho que é algo para compartilhar e motivar outras pessoas. Então, cada momento que tens para expor a sua arte, acho que é um uau, tipo, é uma coisa que tens que mesmo dar tudo que tiveres, porque não vais ter um outro momento fora desse. Tá? Então, para mim também é muito obrigado de estar aqui e compartilhar. É muito difícil ter esse tipo de...
Obrigada, Vasco. Arte para compartilhar, totalmente.
Obrigado,
Valeu. Well, so he said something very beautiful about art is for sharing, is sharing, because dancing alone, you of course you can do it, but it's not the same than dancing to someone or with someone. So we are going to continue with our program today, and this is gonna be the last artist to present, because the other one we're not sure she's gonna make it. So now it's time to introduce Dalia. Hello. If you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, I was considering how I need to introduce me at this interesting moment. Yeah, I'm a Lithuanian origin artist, official, now based in Berlin, but talking with you now from Vilnius. I'm back in my birth town just for a couple of hours, for 14 hours. Yeah. In Berlin, since the mid of April to the end of the year, I'm doing an artistic residency at Skobel, Berlin, where I met live another artist from Duna project.
Wow!
Yeah. So the world is small. Yeah. My background is between the visual and performing arts. By educational background, I'm stage designer and theater costume designer also. But before a year and a half, I decided to come back more to visual arts and to leave. Yeah, I'm still working in the theater, mostly in opera productions or with productions for the young audience, for children and also for teenagers. But also I'm developing now my own artistic research, which I base in mythology. And yeah, so I'm presenting this project now here. I was presenting this project in summer in around 4. Now it's something has changed. Something is the same. Let's see. So yeah, maybe I can answer some questions after.
Thank you, Dalia. Let's see her video.
¿Qué? Calculo que tienes que ir a cabo de eso. ¿Por qué? Algo de eso. Espero que las haya lavado porque las pisan los perros.
Berlynas. Aukštyn kojom drybsa. Amėna. Senas idiotas. Elektros vėla pažabota šypso. Ir aš šypsausi jam, vasomis bebėgdama per Berlyną, per miestą, per didmiestį, per parką, per pievą. Laukas, kelias, pieva, kryžius, šilo juosta mėlyna, debesėlių tankos ižas ir graudi daina, bėga kelias ir berželiai, linksta vėjo pučiami. Jonas Aistis, peizažas. Beržas, berželis, English bitch is my middle brother. O aš bėgu, lekiu basomis per Berlyną, iš namų į namus, tarp namų ir šaukiu mintyse. Barfuß durch Berlin und rufe ich ohne Stimme. Žilvine, Žilvinėli. Žilvinas, kind of the willow tree, is my dad. Papa, papi, padre, tėvas, tėvelis, tėtušis. Jis karalių žalčių, kadaise gyvenęs Baltijos jūroje. Baltijos jūra Zeitise Baltic Sea. Gyvenęs doch. Mano dėdės, broliai mano mamos, Eglė žalčių karalienės, užkapojo jį kirviais, pašaukė iš jūros. Žilvine, Žilvinėli, jei gyvas, atplauk balta pieno puta, jei negyvas, atplauk juoda kraujo puta. Tai mano kaltė. I'm guilty, I'm guilty, I'm guilty. Ich bin schuldig. Tai aš, vienintelė ir jauniausioji duktė, Žinojau chtoniškąją šeimos paslaptį. Man suteikta galia pažinti abipusybę, mano dalia gyventi tarp chtoniškos jūros ir jos plačiai vilnijančių vandenų ir jūsų, žavieji princai ir Elgetas, Don Juanai ir Kazanovas, broliai ir dėdės, mylimieji ir meilužiai, jūsų burtininkai, alchemikai, atradėjai, mokslo žmonės, jūsų sutverto pasaulio. Ar tokia mano dalia? Let's see.
Thank you, Dalia. Amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It was so nice to see how you continued to work with this research since the last time we saw that performance you did when you participated in Duna. So it's really curious to see how you developed the research and now to see it in the video format. Some things are more clear in the video format also. You can play with.
Yes.
Yeah, then I was in beginning of the research. Now I couldn't say that I'm in the end. I'm not feeling that I'm in the end of the research, but yeah. And yes, and this video format, it's a total new media for me, but thanks for pandemia, I had time to research that. And yeah, I'm really interested now to doing this kind of this thing.
Yes, you did so well. I love it, like the edition and the pictures of you in with the water, because while you were in Duna, you were always sharing the pictures of the water. And now it was amazing to see you there, like your body there with the environment. Beautiful. I love it.
Thank you.
Yes, I really like it. Also to know the story about your name, because it's a really nice way to, like, since you were talking about mythology and ancestors, and the name is it's very important to build this story also. Maybe you could also work with your last name as well, so but it's really, really nice to see
The
how it
beginning
develops.
is also super interesting because, like, I don't understand the language that you are using, but it's amazing because it captures you. I was here like, what is this? And your mouth moving and you translating it, and we don't know what is going to be the next part, and sometimes you put all the phrase together, and sometimes we need to wait, and then you put all the text. I love it, this format.
Thank you. It's yeah. Well, I'm some of these parts of this world video, especially this last one, it's already was shown. It was made for online residency. I made an online residency in Leipzig, Blasenkuchen, amazing residency, amazing people there. Yeah, so it was already present in the exhibition, but this, for example, this first part, it's totally new. It, yeah. Maybe it will be part of another one project, but yeah, but it's new things. I'm still developing the project. And I'm still not saying that it's a project, I say that it's research.
Research, yes. Endless research, because this kind of research, they are endless.
Yeah,
you can spend years. But it's good to see your body, like the parts of the body, the mouth, the eyes, and then you getting to see, like, to imagine also this relation, like Bruna said, with your body in the landscapes, like the photo of your house, of your garden. Maybe you could do some images in your garden also. It's it's nice. Great.
Amazing. Thank you for
Let's see the next steps. We're gonna follow steps of it. What was the name of the residence? You said there was nice people.
In Leipzig, it's Pilot and Kuchen. And now I'm doing a residency, not online. It's accidental that today I'm in Vilnius. Yeah, in Berlin, Scope.
Okay.
Scope Berlin, and yeah, and Filipa Tayala from.
Filipa, okay. I was wondering who was. That's so cool.
Yeah, she had, I think it's the last days of her exhibition now in Scope. Yeah.
Oh, amazing that you meet.
So cool when we meet personally with the artists. Yes, last week I also met an artist that participated, and she's living in Barcelona. We had a coffee and was like, I can't believe we are like real life.
Yes, people, this was real. I am super, super happy that we made it. We made it with you. The first festival of Duna was amazing. I love it to be here and to see all the works. I really appreciate that you all are here, still here. And I always get so emotional seeing the body, the Duna's body. You know, we are all Duna, and how this,
Yes, the girls, yes, it's becoming bigger and bigger, and the community is becoming bigger and bigger, and this is really cool. I will leave an invitation for an exhibition of another artist, Sophia. She will do a presentation of her work. It's a short video, 15 minutes. So if you want to do after Duna, after so many hours in the screen, but I will leave the invitation if anybody wants to go there. I will be there to see her work. And that's it. Hola, Lu. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo fue?
Hola, hola.
Hola.
No me fui ningún momento. Mire todo.
Yeah.
I watched everything. I loved your work, Dalia.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, tomorrow we will be here again in the same place at the same time. We hope to see you here again. The theme is Women and Art, and we'll be watching a movie together in the beginning and after some short films, and then hopefully we will have a talk about being artists and women. Hope to see you there. Thank you for your presence.
Thank you. Bye.
Gracias a ustedes, chicas.
Hola. Gracias.